What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Today we have Squid Game. I know it's a little late, but still a really good series to watch. If you want to check out the podcast formats, like in the audio, check Spotify and Apple Music. Give us a follow, like it. It really helps us out. There's gonna be spoilers, obviously, but how'd you like Squid Game?
Honestly, I think it was one of when I watched it, it was the best TV content that came out in the year. Like I haven't seen anything that good all year. I seen a trailer before on TikTok, and when I seen the trailer, I don't know what I was telling, but I told somebody, I was like, yo, I have to watch this.
Yo,
this
you told me. You told me.
It was you? Yeah, I was like, yo, this is gonna be sick. And I didn't even know the name of it. And then when I seen mad people reposting it, so I was like, yo, let me watch it. I think I canceled on some plans just to finish watching it, because I was watching the first episode, and then I was like, whatever. Then after the second episode, the idea of it was really good. I think it's so tied into the real world, and when you're in English class and then they talk about the show, or they talk about the movie, or they say
how does
talk
it relate?
about the depth of the movie.
Yeah.
So I think the thing about Squid Game is there actually really is a depth to the real world society and stuff like that, and everyone just trying to get a leg up on each other. And then when you hear the story about the director or the writer and how he used to be in super debt, and he had to sell the laptop that he was writing Squid Games on
to pay some bills
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know, I find it extremely I don't want to say extremely crazy, but I find it was just good to watch. It was just interesting. The games were were interesting, and it made you feel. I feel towards the end you're like, oh, there's a chance that I could never win these games. It might have been impossible for me to win. But
oh yeah, you were competing with the cast.
Yeah, I was like, yo, would I have won this game, or could I have survived this game?
What was the point where you said, I don't know?
When they were doing the tug of war, I was like, it's a toss up.
It's a toss up.
When they were doing the marble game, I was like, okay, that's
but
bigger toss up.
Is it a toss up because you create the teams? You pick your 10. Are you charismatic enough? Are you approachable enough? Are you strong looking enough? Yeah.
But did they say it was gonna be tug of war?
No, they didn't tell you. That's why some of them are like, oh, girls are good at children's games because they're quick or whatever.
You know why I would lose? Because I would probably try and do with this whoever. It depends on which team I started out with. If I'm cool with these group of people, I'm be like, yo, let me
just do it with them.
Deal with these group of people. But if not, so that was a toss up to me. But I feel I still felt on the edge, I could win that, right? When they did the one with the glass one,
that's a toss.
Other than the fact that I was like, yo, I just walked down the middle. Other than
the bars, right?
Yeah, that's what
Bro,
I was
they
thinking.
didn't say you can't do it.
The only thing I'm thinking, and I'll give a benefit of doubt to the show, is
they might have just shot you.
Yeah, they might have just shot you. Oh, you broke the rule. But other than that, when I seen the glass one, I was like, okay, I'm never gonna win this one. And that's when the show kind of broke down. The girl killed herself with the other guy and stuff like that. I was like, nah.
What if you jumped on the glass and then it broke, but you were quick enough to grab the bar? Are they letting you live?
I don't think so.
No. Yeah.
I think
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, but I don't think so. Because they just seemed they killed anyone for no. The guy figured the game out, and then they just turned off the lights or something like that.
Now, did you watch it in dubbed or sub?
Dubbed. Oh no. Sub. I was watching it in dub at first, and it threw me off. So I was like, yo, let me watch it.
I heard it was terrible, but that's why I watched. This was one of the first contents I watched in sub completed. Yeah. I didn't enjoy watching in sub.
Really?
Yeah, because some of it I had to replay.
I maybe there are parts that I didn't see, but in sub it was all right. I'm used to watching some sub shows, so it wasn't too big. I know I'm bouncing around a lot. The saddest part in the show was when it was the North Korean girl and the one girl that didn't have anybody.
She finally got a connection.
And then she had to that. She's like, what's the rush? She's like, and then she lost that game. I was actually tearing up. I was like, holy, that was a super sad moment.
And yeah, she said she'd give her backstory. She's like, she killed her dad because the dad killed her mom, something like that, right?
To be honest, you could be telling the truth.
But yeah, that was pretty sad.
Yo,
I have nothing to live for.
Yeah, I remember her. I didn't remember her saying she has nothing to live for, but I didn't know she killed that whole situation. It was just sad. And then no, it was sad.
Did you see any of the twists or things coming before it came?
I'm trying to think of like some of the twists. Like, I don't think there's like a twist that like a lot of the twists I didn't see, like, or them dying, like I seen, like I wasn't shocked by that. I thought, you know what I thought was kind of dumb. So the gang leader or whatever. So
Yeah.
there's that one night where they turn off the lights and everyone goes crazy and tries to kill each other. And they kind of knew something was gonna happen because he killed someone and no one said anything about it. I thought they were gonna team up and be like, "Yo, let's kill this gang leader." Like we know he always does dumb shit. Like we should work together and like get rid of this guy.
I think they were just scared, and you can't trust anybody. So how do you know they're not gonna just?
Then
You're gonna turn around, they're just gonna smoke you.
the twist of them coming back to work to go play the game again, I seen that for sure.
Yeah, that was obvious. What did you think of the main character?
I thought he was just a terrible person.
Top left.
Top terrible. He liar. He can't. He lied. He's a pathological liar.
No boost, and wasn't like, first of all, his gambling. All right, that's your issues. Like,
Yeah.
but then you let it affect your
Mother.
your mom. His mom died because of him. Like, hands down.
Yeah.
Bro, the man would take money from his mom, would give money so the granddaughter could have something on her birthday, and then he would go bet it, and he would say, "Oh, this isn't enough. Nowadays, like, prices are high. You're gonna have to give me something more."
Yeah.
And then she would give more, and she's like, "Bro, I don't have this." And then she would go do the work, and he's like, "Why are you doing the work?" She's like, how do you think we're gonna live?
Yeah.
What do you expect from?
It was just so dumb. It was crazy. It was like nuts. But like, I did think he was like, I liked Sang Woo more than I liked his character, because I felt like Sang Woo, he did things and like it just didn't work out in his favor, which was like tough.
Yeah.
Maybe because like, you know, I know how the stock market can turn on people.
And he said, they're like, "Why'd you do this? Why'd you like lie and lose your job?" He's like, "Listen, man, like in the business world, like everybody breaks the rules."
Yeah.
It just so happened that he got caught.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I don't even blame him.
It's 100% true though.
Yeah.
I really did feel bad. He was my favorite character in the show. Like, a lot of people don't like him, but he was my favorite character in the show.
I didn't like Ali. Ali was such a dumb kid, bro. Like, he's
You didn't
so
like him?
stupid, bro. No, I didn't.
Oh yeah, you caught the marbles thing. You didn't fall for the marbles thing.
Bro, he's so dumb. How do you fall for the marbles thing, bro? Like, the man, he's like, "Give it to me, trust me." First of all, he just said, "You lied to me. Like, you're gonna kill me. You're gonna do this." He just went crazy. Sang-woo just went crazy on
Yeah.
you. And then he's like, "Trust me. Give me the marbles. Trust me. We're gonna make it out of this together." Puts it down. Puts his jacket over it. I would be like, "Yeah, what's the need for that, dude? Why are you doing that? Give me my marbles back."
I could see. To be honest, you're right. Like, there's no way. I'm trying to find a way to justify, but there's no way to justify. He just really wanted him to be alive. Like, he didn't want it to end with him dead, because he was the reason why he was. To be honest, was he the reason why he was there in the first place? I don't know, but
because
like,
he was nice and
yeah,
he helped him.
He held it down for him.
Yeah,
That was a cruel part of the game, like that. And then the one guy, he teamed up with his wife, and then his wife died, and he ended up killing himself.
That guy's a snake. That guy's
He
a
just
top F snake. What do you mean you killed and then you just killed yourself? So now you just did a
What
double
was the
L.
point? Yeah, like,
Bro, like,
and then
at least let her
just,
survive.
Someone just like, since they're like, I don't know if they had kids, but like, since they're husband and wife, like, one of them couldn't have just stayed home with the kids while the other one played the game.
Yeah, everybody's asked that. They're like, why would both you guys come through? You saw how these guys were dying, bro. Why would you both do this? Like, you're dumb.
Did you think the game was gonna go down to like? From what I gathered in the beginning, I was like, oh, you know what? You just pass these games. Whoever wins at the end, like, hey, wins.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to come down to just, like, one person.
You didn't? That's what the characters thought. They're like, "Oh, we can win this together." And then
yeah.
I was like, why in the world would these guys want you guys to win this together? Like,
I wanted it to be like that.
I was like, there's no shot you guys are winning this together. I don't know why these guys are teaming up or doing this. I'm like, you guys, there's only one winner. I think they even said, like, the winner will leave with this prize.
Yeah.
And they said winners, not winners. So it's not
I think
plural.
they did kind of say, like, you guys can leave whoever, like, as long as you guys win all the games, you guys can leave with the pot at the end.
I don't know. I've always I was confused as to why they thought they were winning together. But I also watched like stuff like this before, like content like this before. Yeah. So I know that there's only a one winner. It's like the battle royale stuff from Japan.
The marbles game is when I would have realized, like, yo.
The marble game was tough because you know how we're asking, like, oh, would we survive in these situations?
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, first one, light work. Red light, green light.
Yeah.
Easy money. Maybe if you first killed, like, say if me and you were together.
Yeah.
And they packed you right in front of me, maybe I move.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm supposed to stand still or not, but that's it. But if I know the rules, it's over. Like, that's an easy game. What was the second one?
red light, green light, and then the cookie game. Was the cookie game the one that was second?
I think Cookie was third, if I'm not mistaken.
Red light, green light, cookie game. You had the tug of war. You had the walk on like the glass. Squid Game, and then there's one more.
There is one more.
Marble Game. Did I say Marble Game?
No, yeah, you're right. Marble Game. Yeah. I think your order's correct.
Game, yeah.
So Cookie, like I could do after 10 minutes. You're doing everything else. I would be so cautious though. I whatever. I'll give my.
Do you think you would have picked the star? Which one's the hard one?
The umbrella.
Do you think
I'm
you
not
picked
picking
the umbrella?
I think I'm picking.
But like you don't know, right?
Either star. A star is not that hard, but it's
Yeah.
harder than everything else. I'm thinking I would go towards the triangle, three sides.
You know what the one thing is think about Sang Woo? He snaked them
knew.
for no reason.
He knew.
Yeah, there was no reason for him to not tell them.
No, but he also no, because each team member had to choose. But he
Is it actually?
Yeah, each team.
I
member
thought
had
anyone could like. Were they in teams at the time?
No, they were talking to each other.
Yeah, they were just talking to each other.
Yeah, you're right.
So he could have just like,
he could have just said, "Yo,
triangle."
Hey guys, we played this game before. Let's all take circle or all take triangle."
Triangle, yeah.
Yeah, he's a fucking dirtbag.
He was actually mad think for that for no reason.
His mom, the stuff with his mom was mad sad.
Heartbreaking.
My coworker said, she's like, I didn't like the mom because she seemed arrogant. I'm like, there was not one moment that you see arrogant. She's like, yeah, when she was talking, when the girl came up and said, oh, I have my daughter, I want to marry her off to your son, and she's like, I don't know, my son has high standards.
Yeah.
I was like, even if you think that's like the wording is arrogant, I guess somebody you can take it. You have to look at the facial expressions, the way she said it. She was like smiling, she was happy. There wasn't like an arrogance tone coming from her. It was more
like
so
a joking tone.
No, it was like she was serious, but she was saying like she was prideful. Like she was so happy about her son being who she thought the son was. Yeah. So there was no arrogance. And she's such a nice lady. And then Sungwoo has the the disrespect to walk back. She asked him, "Yo, you see my son when he's dead? Yeah. When he killed himself?" And he just says nothing, walks, and she's like, I guess not. Bro, she's slaving in that fucking spot.
Oh, yeah, and he won at the time, right?
He won. She's slaving at that time for how long? She doesn't see his son.
He's mad snake.
Bro, you cheese me. But
Sang-woo isn't the main character, is he?
No, Sang-woo's the guy.
Okay, yeah.
So, but overall,
you said Sang-woo's one. Okay, yeah.
Overall, I like the story. Mm-hmm. It was really interesting. Episode on episode, I did want to watch it, keep watching it. A few things that were just like as it was ending, the last episode, I didn't like it because I feel like I could predict everything. Mm-hmm. So I didn't. It was not enjoyable. The old guy I knew it right off the bat. I'm like, this guy.
How'd you know?
Moving different. He's smiling, playing red light, green light. He's different. He's moving.
Maybe he's close to dying. I thought that's when they're close to dying. That's how they act.
They had the, what's it called, marble game, and like. Now he has this dimension. It's crazy dimension. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, I lived in this neighborhood. At a certain point, I was asking myself, I'm like, because the main character says, oh, I used to live in a neighborhood like this too. So I'm like, is this guy's dad or some shit?
I think someone said that in the theory thing.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, maybe it's his dad, but whatever. And then he was getting snaked, but he knew he was getting snaked. So I already knew he knew what he was doing, because he would be like, oh, the main character loses all his marbles. He's like, no, you didn't say that. Remember, you win this round. So I'm like, this guy's smarter. I already knew from the time. Like I was like, this guy's light. And then, but the one thing I didn't like was when he took off the mask and he was like the owl guy, and then the main controller of the game. He's like, sir, why don't you want to run this with the leads, the heads? And he's like, oh, it's more fun to play than to watch. But at that moment, that was after the marble game. He had already died. So what are you playing? You're dead. You can watch.
Was that after the marble game?
It was after the marble game. So I didn't get that part. What else? Everything was cool, but there's just so many things that you knew was gonna happen. At the end, you knew he was playing Squid Game. I knew from the jump. Yeah. From the jump, I knew
one of the games was gonna be Squid Games.
Yeah, and I knew
it'd be the main character versus Sungwoo.
I knew the main character didn't want to kill. He didn't want to win because if he wins, he realistically kills Sungwoo. So he wasn't gonna win.
I would have won.
And then I was like, he's gonna opt out of the game. And then he tried to opt out of the game.
But then
Sungwoo said no, and I'm like, either Sungwoo kills himself or he kills you. And I'm like, oh, sick that he killed himself. It's super predictable. At the end where he's walking down it was cool to see the main character sees the other guys playing the games and recruiting, and he stops him. He's like, no, don't ever do that. He smacks him and everything. He said, don't call this number because you don't want to play this game. And then he's walking down towards his jet. He's a snake for this too, because his daughter. He has a
moment with his daughter. And keep in mind, he hasn't seen his daughter for I don't know how long, but for a long time.
For a long time,
he had won the game and decided, hey, I'm not gonna see my daughter.
Yeah, so he's walking to the plane. And he's talking to his daughter like, yeah, I'm bringing you something. Then he calls the number, and like it's showing him slowly walking to the plane. I'm like, there's no need to show me this unless he's going to turn around. And then he's going to turn around. He said, I'm coming for you, which is stupid. The cop, he had his brother missing. His brother I knew was in like the lead when he's the main guy. He's the main black character who runs the game. So I was like, okay, that was predictable. They shoot each other, I think. And you knew the cop survived.
Yeah.
So
we'll see him in second season.
Cops coming back second season. The weird part is everybody said this online too. How does his brother win the game, becomes like a multi-billionaire, but he's still in school, right? Like he's in school, and the cop says, "Oh, my younger brother's in school," but the guy looks older than him, and then he's like, "Oh, he hasn't paid rent in like 2 weeks." That's why the cop shows up to his brother's crib. It's like Mustafa. He's outside. He hasn't paid his rent. And then you check up on him. But he's a billionaire. Why wouldn't he pay his rent? Yeah. Why wouldn't he have automatic rent payments, e-transfer, whatever they have?
Maybe he ran away. I don't know. I actually don't know. Like you're right. There's a sketchy there's parts that don't make sense around his brother being like in the game and stuff like that, and him not knowing. But I just don't know how that works out.
It was just, I don't know. At the end, it was just very predictable.
To be the host of the game. Like why he decided to work that job when he's already like rich.
I also didn't like, but I guess somebody else have a different perspective than me. He's not
a billionaire though.
Millionaire.
Like $50 million.
Yeah. I didn't like how the fact that the higher ups, the ones that were watching the game, they were all like white people, and they were doing like the gay shit. I guess it makes sense. Like the older, I guess the weird crowd would be like the rich people. They do weird things, like they force you to do sexual acts or whatever it may be. I didn't like how they were white individuals, because I feel like they were leaning towards just having white representation when they could have just stuck to like high Asian powerhouses. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I was the only one that felt like that.
I think it's because it's a Korean show. It kind of demonizes like white
the United States. Yeah, like that's what another. I think
their perspective is like, yo, like these guys are sickos.
I think my coworker was saying that. She's like, you know how they want to portray the United States as being this like crazy rich, evil, weird people. I'm like, okay, I guess that makes sense. Beyond that, I did like the show. It was interesting. I hated the girl that dates the mobster guy. Bro, I hated that girl.
She was mad annoying.
She was so annoying.
And she got played mad times. They finessed her basically.
Yeah, she was stupid. I feel like I would have passed every level, and then it was for a tug of war. It depends on the team, and then for the glass game, it just depends on where you're at.
So if you had to name 5 French Montana songs without features, would you pass?
I have no idea.
You'd be done. I feel like the thing I liked about Squid Games is it set the culture for like it was like a part of the culture.
Where did the French Montana thing come from?
I don't know. Someone on Twitter posted it.
Oh, as like a Squid Game thing. Oh, yeah. French Montana got cheesed.
Yeah, and he's just like he named a whole bunch of his songs, and I was looking at it, and he had 2 songs on there that I was like, I know, like, but like, or maybe 2 or 3 songs I knew, but there's no way there's 5. So I was like, yo, your own family wouldn't even be able to name 5 songs. Like he doesn't have without features. Like there's no way. What the hell? No, it was 2 songs I knew without features, and songs I was thinking of, he had features on.
Yeah.
But no, like I think it's part of the culture. That's what I really liked. they care. I really do feel like it does relate to real life. Like sometimes like like people are just willing to do anything. Like people do anything for the bag and they don't kind of
say after this you're down 150K and you're not finding a job. You're a bum. Your parents kick you out. You playing the game?
Join the game?
Yeah.
If they don't have any games like the glass walking one,
you don't know what games they have.
No,
children's games, the ones you're playing.
Because I would think about the glass walking one because they had no chance.
To be honest, I was thinking I would be completely honest. You know when they're choosing the numbers?
Yeah.
I was like, normally I would choose a later number, but screw it, I would take number 1. And then the game showed up. I was like, it's over.
That guy, because the one guy that chose number 1 was like, oh my god, like what do I do?
Religious guy, right?
He got the first one right.
Yeah, and then it was over for the guy.
Then the guy did the math on it. He's like, okay, there's like 16 to the power of like 12,
math
12
guy,
or something. I was like, holy shoot.
He's like, I have 1 in a 250,000 chance to survive here.
Then remember when the other guy was gonna cross and the girl's like, he's like, oh I can't, because there was a guy that did like 4 in a row, and then after he's like, oh I can't remember if the guy went left or right, and then the girl's like, he went right, trust me.
and then the person died. She looked around. She's like, oh well, guess what?
That was crazy. And then the one guy's like, I'm not gonna move. We're all gonna die together.
Yeah, bro. Honestly, that guy didn't seem that big. I feel like if I was in that situation, he's like, we're all dying. I'm not moving, or you guys can go ahead, bro. I'm pushing the man off.
But the thing is, like, in an attempt to push him off, you might fall over. He might grab onto you.
Yeah.
So it's just like too scary.
Or you could do this. You could like, okay, like, yeah, hey, I'll go in front of you
and then push him.
Just like give me some space. Yeah, but
maybe she was too weak
She was too weak. There's no shot I'm not getting this guy down. I feel like lower stance, body push. Over, it's over for the man.
That's crazy. I don't think he was like that.
Would you do that? If you had to kill the person, would you kill him?
No, because I would just wait for someone to do something.
So you're all dying.
Oh wait, he's gonna move. He's not gonna want to die.
He's ready to die.
He's gonna move at the end.
Well, I don't know.
I think he would move at the last minute, and then I'll start running. And in the glass.
But say you're okay. You're behind him. He's in front of you.
Yeah.
You say he goes last minute, but there's like 13 steps. He's not making all 13 correct.
That's true.
That means you have to make all 13 correct after the fact.
You know what I would do? I would negotiate with everyone. I'll be like, hey, listen, this is what we're gonna have to do. The person has to jump on the glass. If they get it right, the person behind them has to go on the next glass, and the person behind them has to go on the next glass. So everyone gets.
That's a good scenario. Chance. That's a really good scenario.
I just thought of that right now. To be honest.
That's actually
so then really everyone's like, okay, you know what? We'll all do that.
I think more people would have survived with that theory than 3.
Would it, or would it be the same amount? I don't know.
No, I think more would. I don't know, because you'd have some people get it right.
Yeah.
And then no fear of having to keep going.
What if you took your like shirt and like hit the glass? I don't know. I was thinking about like mad stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, if I had my shirt, I like start hitting the glass.
You know when the guy had the marble and he's like, oh, toss it. I want to see how it bounces. Yeah. But won't you smash that?
Yeah,
shit?
That's what I'm thinking.
Why don't you just?
He's like, oh, I gotta see how it sounds, bro. And he said I had to see how it sounds. Like he knew he had 2 marbles.
Yeah.
He's bouncing. He's like.
All
He's
right.
like, okay, now I gotta see how the other one sounds. Like, bro, like, you know, like, come on, bro. Like, you think there's 2 marbles here?
And at the end where, like, the glass shattered them, that was kind of a lame way to kill off the girl, I guess.
Yeah.
Or she was, like, dying. I could see that. But if the glass shattered, wouldn't you just duck down?
I guess if they didn't know, it was, like, from behind them. So, like, it just, I don't know.
True.
It cut the one guy's, because it showed them turning around. It cut the one guy's cheek.
Yeah.
And then, it like, I don't know how it cut that deep, but... That's kind of unfair, because they said you passed the game, you survived, but then she passed the game and they still like kind of like fucked her over.
Snaked her, yeah. It wasn't interesting.
Her story was sad too. Her brother was like getting $0 apparently.
What do you mean?
Because you didn't see him go to her brother. He only sees Sengu's mom.
Yeah,
at least
no,
family's not getting any money.
No, he goes to the brother, and then he takes him from the foster or whatever.
Oh, you're right.
And drops into Sangwoo's mom. So he gives her more responsibility, but a bunch of bread. But she's old, bro. I feel so bad. And then I knew for a fact the main character's mom was dead completely.
Yeah.
She was already diagnosed in the hospital from his actions, and then And then he's like, oh, I'll go play this game. He's gone for who knows, a week or two.
Yeah.
And then he comes back and he's like, oh, I got the money. And she's dead on the floor, bro.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised.
Bro, I was cheesed at the
I
man.
feel
I was
like
actually so mad.
that. You know what? That show, how much time we got left? Oh, that time. That show scared me because I was like, whatever. I was watching it and then I was like, yo, because everyone has like goals of where they want to be in life, right? And then I was like, yo, what if I end up like this? Like I fall short, I never meet any of my goals, and I end up like this guy, like, and then like a straight loser and stuff like that, and then like gets carried by like his mom, and I was like, that the chances are like slim to none, because he wasn't just like a loser, but like it kind of put in perspective of like, not him actually, to be honest, Sang Woo was the only person, the one that's more relatable, because Sang Woo, like, he was on his path and he was like successful, but he had a stumble that turned everything like sideways, and then he had to like kind of restart from zero.
Yeah.
I guess and realistically, unless you decide to put your mom's shop on like a gambling thing, or like you like literally steal from your mom's like
He mortgaged it, right? He mortgaged his mom's shop.
Yeah. And then that was like a L. So I guess those are highly unlikely, but like the show is kind of like, it showed like, yo, like Ali was in a situation and he was trying, and then Sang Woo was in a situation and he was trying, and the North Korean girl was in a situation and she was trying. I just felt like it was messed up. I felt like it was like, it humanized like how possible it is to just not make it no matter how hard you try. And I was like, that's crazy, but that's Korea too. Like your medicine thing. And then he had a chance to take the money, but his pride, because he could have got the money from the girl's dad, his daughter's like stepdad.
Yeah, and he's like, don't disrespect me or whatever. But the guy, is it worth 3,000 won to, what is it, 3,000 or 3 million won?
I think it was 3 million. 3,000 won is like nothing.
Yeah, 3 million won.
He's like, is it worth three
to never see your daughter again?
I mean, he's actually terrible for his daughter.
No boost. Bro, you know this guy at the end? He spent a year without checking up on anybody's family. The brother,
yeah,
a year, didn't do nothing. He didn't touch the bread. He didn't help anybody.
He was terrible.
So he didn't check on Sang Woo's mom. Nothing.
Terrible person. Sang Woo's the only one I like.
But now he's like the main character. Now he's gonna be stopping the whole entirety of the Squid Games.
I wonder how it's gonna go, because he wants to stop it, but the people who are in the game are in it to like. The reason why they come back is because they're stuck in a situation. So unless he changes their situation, they're gonna want to come back to the Squid Game.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I think. But that's all I have to say about the show.
I don't have much either.
I rated 9 out of 10.
9?
Yeah.
I gave it like an 8.5.
I rated like a 9 out of 10, if not like 9.5. I had me on the edge of my seat. I kid you not. Like
I don't know about edge.
It literally had me on the edge.
I was laying down on the couch, just watching. I was like,
I was like super tied into it. The later it got, the less on the edge of my seat it got. After the brother died, I was less on the edge of my seat. And then they had like the little last scene with the old man.
Yeah. And then the old man's a snake, regardless. And then he's like, "Old man, why'd you do this?" And the old man's supposed to be like super like nice, kind, and everything. He's like, when you get this rich, like, life just becomes boring, and it's not fun. And he's like, I gave them all a choice, which he's right, nonetheless. But you could also not kill them. Like, you could give them a punishment and instead of killing them.
I wonder how true it is.
Games.
Like, when he said that, I was like, I wonder how true it is of life not being super sick when you're that rich.
I have to disagree. I feel like life would be amazing.
No, like, what if it's like he's that rich, he could buy everything? Like, I feel like, because you have billionaires, like, I always, like, me and my brother always had this question, like, who's living a happier life? A super billionaire or LeBron James?
Well, LeBron also has the publicity in it, so LeBron's obvious. And LeBron's a billionaire now.
Yeah, that's true. I guess, like, okay, a super billionaire or DeRozan?
A billionaire.
I think DeRozan, or like a super billionaire,
DeRozan
or
doesn't
like,
do anything.
Or like a rapper. Like whose life is more exciting?
I guess a rapper, but if you're a billionaire, you could go be a rapper. Like if you had billionaire money, like you could just put BTZR on easy.
Yeah, that's true.
You could put anything. You could do whatever you wanted to do. You buy an island, have a whole DR party. Like you're.
But you have a limit. Like you're not like LeBron. Like he'll go and say, "Yo, that's LeBron." Da 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 da. Like Martin Shkreli or whatever his name tried to do the same thing by being like super rich, and it never worked out for him.
I don't know. If you give me lots of money,
you'll be
bro, I'll be sad. Like I'll be smiling day to day. If something happens, It's tough out here, but I'm still watching my anime. I'm playing my video games. Like I'll make YouTube videos just for fun. Like,
I would
yo,
actually
we're doing this today. Oh,
we're spending 100K today.
We have R&B podcast. Our special guest is the writer of Squid Game. Like it'd be light. It'd be crazy.
You could actually do some crazy shit. Yeah, to be honest, he's wrong.
100%.
Maybe he just doesn't have the imagination on what to spend his money on.
And he was dying already, so.
Yeah, that's true. My mom always sends me videos of like people dying, and then they'd be like, see, like, this is why, like, you have to, like, be grateful. I'm like, I guess, or like, he's a millionaire, but he's dying, like, so money isn't everything. I'm like, yeah, if I'm dying, money isn't everything, but like, I don't know.
How do you feel about Netflix having this show as number one in like several different countries, like 90 or something like that?
I like it.
And it being 900 million.
I love it, actually, because I feel like Asian people are not, I shouldn't say Asian, like Asian movies and Asian media, they're great at making like super amazing stories. I watched like look at anime. Like anime stories are way better than a lot of the stuff that we see.
Facts.
So like now to put them in the front and center, who knows? We're gonna see, maybe we'll see more collabs and better stories. Like just better stories in general. We'll see more of their stories, more of like their hit shows. Like we'll see more of their content coming to like light. Like I was watching a show called Startup. That was like a Korean show, and I was like, it was just super dope, super sick to me. And like I would never find that within like an American like TV show. Like it's just hard to find. Like and their movies and shows are based on like people and personalities, whereas I feel like American shows are extremely dramatized. Like and a lot of white shows are like extremely dramatized. Like you'll watch like a white show and then it's just like, oh, like you can kind of tell like it's acting and it's extra and it's
like,
so good.
It's like Arrow.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Arrow, like extremely dramatized. But when you watch shows like Power is kind of dramatized too. But like within Power, you'll see like characters are like, oh, like I know people like that, or like I would say Power Book season 2 is the one that's like less drama. It's dramatized, but it's less dramatized, so because you can kind of relate to like some of the characters. So I think the Korean drama is kind of like the same thing. You can kind of relate to certain situations that each character was going through. And like with Startup, it's another part of the same thing.
I feel
anime does the same thing.
I feel like Hollywood is like really understanding. Like you don't need a white guy to have it thrive. It's actually gonna thrive more if it's not a white lead character or a white lead story, because nobody really relates. Like, white people are the minority nowadays.
Yeah.
Or overall, I guess picture wise. So it is good to, I think they're breaking down all the walls to say like, hey, we can have these people on and still be successful. Like this made $900 million for Netflix, which is dope. But I wanted, like, the writer of the show said he didn't receive, he's not rich by any means. He said he said, I think he said he got like 60K or something along those lines.
Cause he was
he didn't. He said he has enough to feed his family for a little bit, but it's nothing wild. He's not rich.
I think it's cause like honestly, I understand. He signed a contract to like release the movie before it came out. At the time, no one knew it was gonna be like a mega super big duper movie. Mm-hmm. So his contract's probably like, hey, we'll give you this. He's been rejected so many times before, so like to him, like, hey, this is a good contract.
This is still good, yeah.
He probably thought, hey, this, like, people will like this, but it'll never blow up, or this might just blow up in Korea. It might not be like the super world dominant thing. I think it's like when like labels sign rappers, like they'll sign a nobody rapper, and like they'll have like a certain deal, and then the rapper will get like famous because of all the money the label puts into it, and they're like, yo, I need this money, but no one ever realizes that like this movie popped off mainly because of Netflix. Like Netflix gave it the platform to pop off, and he just was like super dope at writing. And
unfortunately, a contract is a contract. Like,
yeah, you can't go back on. Or
you wouldn't, if you wanted to base it off of like what you thought it could do, you could have had that in the contract, but you took the money because that's what you expected.
Maybe like a 1%.
There's a lot of people like hating on the fact that he only got paid a certain amount.
Yeah.
But like that's what a contract is meant for. Like. If
they could give him a bonus.
If it was vice versa, like say if it wasn't a hit and the contract was
Netflix holds out,
and but if it was like based off of a payment structure of how popular it would be, and if it was a flop and they're like, listen, you're only getting like 30K, would people respect that, or would people hate on that contract as well? So I don't know, it goes both ways. It sucks, but he's gonna make a season 2. That's why he leaned it towards a season 2, I assume. And he's gonna get a bag off of season 2.
He definitely will get a bag off season 2, and hopefully he has more ideas in the works that are actually good. I feel like it's hard to make multiple good stories, but if he has more ideas in the works, then he's gonna get a bag.
I feel like it's definitely super hard because, like, just thinking of how to do this, and so he's done this for 10 years, right?
Yeah.
And this is season 1. So that was like 10, and that's him. He had it completed in 10 years ago. And he was pitching and he was getting denied. So who knows? Say he was writing it since for 12 years. That's 12 years of his life. So to switch to a new content and make it just as good, like how much time and how much like brain work where it's not similar or whatever.
I
so
think
it's
it'd be
super
impossible.
hard.
Hey, but that's me. I think it'll be impossible for him.
But I have no other points that I can think of.
Yeah, that's it. That's it for me as well.
That's it. Okay. Yeah, just leave us a comment, like, subscribe, share. It does really help us. Leave us a comment and tell us like what we could be watching or what you thought of Squid Game, and we'll definitely check it out.
That's honestly like that's all I can.
That's
think
it.
of.
That's all right.
Exhausted.
You can check the videos, pop them up right here. But we're out.
Easy.
Peace.